Hello, hello. Welcome back. All right, ladies and gents, those of you who joined me on the T6 stream, we're back in the 737 going from Hilo, Hawaii to Honolulu to check out the PMDG 737, and we're going to compare it against PMDG's newest offering, the 777. So this route would normally be done in the Max, but we're gonna do it in the old NG, just so that it gives us a kind of an excuse to check out the um, oldest and newest PMDG offerings. So we'll hop in here. We'll actually do a walk around and just kind of look at the modeling here. You know, I mean, PMDG's come a long way since they released this. I mean, this was I believe it was one of the first airliners for 2020. So if we go camera here and we slow down the speed a little bit, take the rotation speed down. There we go. We'll do a little walk around action. Mickey G, welcome, man. Yeah, Retro T6 stream, man. You missed it. We'll have to do a like new T6 stream with the Moza once you get all checked out in that thing. Yeah, John. Let's not stall the 7.3. We're trying not to stall that. Diabetic Lad from the 40s to the 60s. Oh man, dude, this is straight 1990s juice, man. This is as the literature and the type rating said, this is 777 avionics crammed into a 737 airframe. So this model, it actually looks pretty good, I think. Now, you guys, I think, are a little bit more. I think you're a little harder on models than I am. I want that a little faster. There we go. I think you guys are a little harder on models than I am, but this thing looks pretty good. I mean, it's got, you got all the pitot tubes and all that stuff modeled. You got the ground power door there, which that opens once you put the ground power on the airplane. We got the nose wheel well. It looks pretty decent. We got the snubbers, although I think those are just textures in like a square box. So, I mean, could be a little bit more detail in the nose wheel well, but I guess at the end of the day, it's just a hole. That's what she said. We got the baggage compartment there. I mean, this is what it looks like. It's a big tube. We got the deflector doors on the bleed air intakes. Let's take a look back here. I mean, this looks pretty good, chat. The model here. We got the down lock mechanism. You got all the gear doors. Take a look at take a look in the back of the engine here. A little bit of an artifact in there in the engine cowl, but I mean, it's not looking bad. Oh boy, my drone cam skills need some work. Make everyone sick here. Yeah, take a look in the engine. We got some. I think the speed's defaulted to max. Yeah, looks pretty good. It's not a bad model, I think. Although, I mean, here's the thing. Texturing, I think, can save a slightly simplified model. And I think PMDG on this airplane did that. They were like, we'll texture some things instead of model them just to kind of save on the performance, which I think in the early days of 2020, I think was probably a good move. But like, let's see. Yeah. So those door hinges should stick out. These should stick out from the fuselage. They're not flush in the real one. Let's see. Check out the winglet model here. Yeah. I mean, it does the trick. I mean, that's what a 7.3 looks like. We got the the triple mismatched engine cowl on the left here. And back inside. So we're back in the rather silent cockpit here. And we'll go ahead and get the battery on. There we go. And we'll get some ground power. So this is going to be a slightly unfair comparison, I guess, because we're using the Boris sound pack. But you know, I mean, and this also has the CFD flight deck mod. So there's, you know, it's been modded a little bit, but I think it'll just be interesting to see kind of where we came from with PMDG's Boeing sim. Diabetic Lad, yeah, I agree, man. I hope the 2024 upgrade is good. Yeah, Vodka, we got an early start, man. We did the T6 stream, and now we're into jets for the rest of the day. So we messed around the T6, did a quick flight, and now we're going to work to pay the fuel bill. So, all right, we will jump into the overhead panel flow here first. And actually, what we'll do is we'll just go nav, get those going, and then let's jump into, so the chat said they wanted failures, but I don't want the failures to be the focus of the stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to go options simulation. Nope, that's not it. Oh boy, what are we going to do? We're going to go FS options. No, PMDG setup, aircraft failures. And then we're going to go all systems, random, yes. Events per 10 hours, 0. Limited events, yes. 1 limited event. So there we go. We actually we'll go no. So we'll go limited events, no, but events per 10 hours, 0. So and then service-based failures. So it'll basically be set to a very reliable airplane, but there's always the chance. So that'll keep us honest. So yeah, Force Raptor T6 stream is bagged and tagged. Virtual Flight Diaries was there. A couple of guys were there. John Seifert was. So we took the T6 out, did some air work, some spins, a couple of landings. Let's see. How about now? How's that, Vodka? Any better? I'm trying to, when I watch my streams back, I'm trying to find a good balance of getting you guys the sim sounds and being able to hear my voice without me drowning out the sim sounds. So give me some feedback on what that's like, and if that's good, then I'll keep it there for the rest of the stream and just not touch it. So alrighty, way better, awesome. Okay, so we've got the failures set up here. We'll go ahead and start in the box. And I'm going to be using my WinWing box here, so you won't see my mouse clicking. So we'll jump in here. Okay, rather hear me than the sim. All right, sounds good. So we'll jump in here, go to the FMC. We've got active nav data. The 7.3 has nav data that's in the sim, which is fantastic. Don't have to go through the nav graph or anything, so that's a bonus for this airplane. And we're going to go from PHTO, reference airport, GPS, and set IRS position. Now, and we'll get the INS aligning. Now, one complaint I have about the PMDG is that this, and I think a lot of people do, is that this FMS is from circa 2010. The 7.3, matter of fact, the box that this simulates should have a green screen. So, or had a green screen at one point. So, that's one ding against the 7.3 already, is that the FMS is not an up-to-date simulation. Now, I don't know if the 777 is, but I suspect it has some more up-to-date features modeled, and we'll take a look at that when we jump in it. All right, so we've got set fuel, set payload, select the route, and then while that's loading, I'm actually going to put a little more gas on just because 12,000 pounds that's no gas. So we'll take 16.5. That was our internal fuel load in the Hornet, so we'll just do that. All right, there we go. Why do you enter the starting airport when the GPS already has coordinates? So the airport, you're basically giving the GPS and the INS a waypoint 0 of where to look, right? So let's say that you didn't have a GPS solution yet, you had just turned the INS on. By putting the airport in of origin, you basically tell the GPS's a general ballpark of like, hey, what satellites am I looking for type thing, and it can speed up the getting a GPS acquisition a little bit sooner. At least that's why we did it in the F-18. I don't know if it's the same logic in the 7.3, but I would assume it is. So that's why some guys don't do it. Some guys, if there's already a if they already have GPS coordinates, they just pull those and they don't put the reference waypoint in. So it's very possible that it's just a legacy habit that I'm carrying over from previous airplanes. So, all right. There we go. So we'll activate that. Perf init request. And let it cook. The SimBrief integration on the PMDG 7.3 has always been very good. And it's the prompts are very similar to the actual airplane. This has been one of my honestly, I think it's what keeps me coming back. We're cruising at 260. I just talked about how great the SimBrief integration is, and it got the altitude wrong. But this is one of the things that keeps me coming back to the PMDG over, like, say, the iFly, is just the FMS integrates with SimBrief so well that it's a reasonably believable analog to how the airline data links us all of our stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. So okay, so we got the perf going here. Now we'll do departures and arrivals. So we're taking off out of HTO, and we're taking off on the runway. Let's see. Nope, not the SAR. We're going here on the 10.9. We're taking off. I believe it had us taking off on 2.6. So, and which departure did it have going? It had the. It doesn't have one, so we'll pick one. Let's see, the Paris 4 or the PIPKIO 1. We'll do this one. We'll do the PIPKIO 1 RNAV. So we'll go PIPKIO 1 RNAV, and that drops us off at. We'll just take it to PIPKIO, and then we'll do that off of runway 26 for a little bit of added juice. And so then we'll go legs to PIPKIO, then we'll go to ITO. We'll leave that discon in there for a second. And then going into Honolulu, we are going on to runway 4 left. Are we doing 4 left? What are we doing? No, 4 left is the inboard. Wouldn't it be, I think, where do they usually land at Honolulu? Don't they usually land on 8 left? All right, we'll go the ILS 8 left. We'll do the book transition, and then SimBrief has us landing. What star? They've got us on the Shale 1. Shale 1 LNY transition. All right, so that's all inserted into the box. And oh, I'm sorry, chat. I just realized that you haven't been able to see any of that because I've been doing it on my WinWing. So we've got all this set, and we'll just go ahead and execute it now. So, cool. Yeah, Force Raptor FSX era modeling, right? So this is very much a port, and it's a good model. They've done some updating, but it's starting to show its age a little bit, and especially in the animations, as we'll see. But that's a well-known thing. So. V1 in the house, 16 Discord pings, and I already missed a stream. You should do 20 pings next time. Yeah, I guess I wasn't pinging enough, man. I got an early start today, so got an early start to the day. Also, you sending me text message? Oh man, I got a dual front war here. V1's in my DMs. He's in my text messages. Oh man. Clone correct. V1, clone correct. Awesome. You guys want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you up in cruise how I've really gave V1 some real good advice on what suppressor to get for his pew pew. Okay, ITO. What are we doing here? We're gonna go plan. We're gonna go zoom in a bit. ITO looks like it's on the field, so we're not gonna go there because we're doing the departure. So we're gonna join it up at Ocala, and we'll just say that ATC cleared us for all that. We'll join it up like so. And then looks like the rest of it all joined up, and then we're on a vector. Okay, so that looks good. Real world 7.3 procedure. We started the progress page. Take a look here, 234 air miles. We'll compare that against SimBrief. And SimBrief says distance 215 nautical miles. So that is close enough for government work, about 20 miles off. So that just tells us that we've got the right points in the box. We'll go to our VNAV pages. So starting at climb, 280 knots is what it wants. Okay, so we'll do 280 to 0.78. Put that in there. Got a speed restriction of 250 at 10. Cruise, we'll cruise at 0.78. And then descent, 0.78 or 300. And we'll take a look and see if there's a speed restriction there once we get a little closer. Route, we talked about that. PHTO to PHNL, Southwest 1422 on runway 26. Route is all checked there. We're going to go to the legs page. We're going to upload the winds request. It does, let's see, 4 right, 8 left, 8 right. All right, we'll use 8 left. So, cool. They're using 0807 knots. Yeah, we'll use 8 left. Cool. Sweet. Winds request. Select this. And get that all plugged in here. Takes a second, which, I mean, this is actually a good sim if it takes this long. Yep, there it is. Okay, load. Execute, and then descent page forecast. That should auto-populate. It does. Load. And execute. So the things that PMDG sims, they do pretty well. However, an example of something that is not simmed in this box, for example, if we go FMC, index, nav data, you can't enter a custom waypoint. So like if we try to enter a custom waypoint of crater, this is where you would put in the lat long and the mag bar, and PMDG doesn't allow you to do that. So, that's just an example of something that PMDG does not have simulated in this FMS, and that's really just because it's an out of date software that they're running on the box. So, okay, let's take a look at the departure. Getting out of here, we're doing the PHTO 1 out to PHTO. So really, it's just straight out to 538 feet, and then we're going to turn. So we're going to put the top altitude. There's no ATC on, so we're going to put the top altitude of 260 in the MCP. And we're going to turn the flight directors on. And we're going to LNAV it. And we're going to go, runway heading is probably 26 something, yeah. Climb on heading of 259. All right, so 259. That's in the heading. We'll get the performance data there in the second. Top altitude is, I guess the top is at 10, so we'll put 10 in. Down to 10. All right, that's good. Heading and courses. I guess we could put the air return back in here. So if we have to come back, the ILS runway 26 would be 10.7 and 259. So we'll go 110. Actually, we'll do it this way. We'll go 110.7. And then remember, you want a VOR freak in here. Like that. So we'll go 108 nothing. And 110.7. And then in the courses, 259. Mark my words, chat. Next peripheral is a MCP. Just because of how much knob twiddling you do up here. 259. All right, that's all set. Turk, just dropping by to say hi. Hope everyone's enjoying the slideshow. Yo, bro, this is smooth frames. Look at that. Smooth panning. I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome, Turk. Thanks for dropping by, man. I know you're busy. I appreciate you taking the time out to say hi. All right, FMS is all set up. MCP is good, so we're going to do the slats test. That's all good. Those are spun. Dome light, stay off for now. EECs are closed. Got 1,000 PSI in the oxygen, 3 green lights. Flight recorder tests. Mach airspeed. All right, there we go. Stall warning tests are good. Really fun. Wait till V1's writing his clearance down or something on his yoke clip and then hit the stall warning test. It's a good way to start a trip. All right, yaw damper comes on. Nav and display switches are normal. Cross feeds closed. Fuel pumps. APU gen on the selector. Passenger IFE. Utilities are all on. That looks good. Come down here. Emergency exit lights. Chimes. We are using the Boris sound pack, so keep in mind all these sounds are not default PMDG. So this is Boris AudioWorks sound pack. If you don't have it, go pick it up. Best $15 you'll spend on the sim. Trim air's on, packs are off, isolation valves open, APU bleeds off, packs are on. We're going up to 260. We're landing at sea level in auto. The Helios switch right there. Anti-collision light off, FO, first leg of the day, APU, and lights are good. Boris sounds, that's true. All right, master caution recall, that checks good. Way better than an ECAM. Check the EFIS control panels, MCP set up, flight director switches are on. Checking the lights. All right. Let's see. PDC en route. What is PDC en route? I don't even know what that is. I would be one of the confused people in the chat. Is that like CPDLC? You guys haven't had that? All right, high pressure's a little low. We'll run the B pump. There it is. Recycle the auto brake switch. That's good. High pressure's up. B pump, we'll leave that on. Okay, gears down. Jip whiz test. Why don't I have... Oh, chat.
Glide slow.
I'm still running T6 controls here. Stand by. There we go. What am I new here? There we go. All right, speed brake flaps are stowed.
Wind
Parking
shear.
brake
Wind
is
shear.
set.
Wind shear. Terrain. Pull up.
Check the squibs.
Airspeed low.
Okay, check the fire test. Overheat fault detector. 11 lights, clear the master caution. Cargo heat or cargo fire. Checks. Oxygen mask is good. And come down here. Got to do it in a different order in the sim. Weather radar, test.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Oh, dude, you didn't have CPDLC en route? Hang on. Wait. Chat. V1 is telling me that the A320, the Lord's airliner, just got CPDLC en route. William Boeing had that stuff out of the factory, man. All right, we'll squawk. What are we squawking? We are squawking 2375. 2, 3, 7, 5, standby, TCAS system test, pass.
TCAS test. Pass.
There we go. All right. Oh, okay, the plane's had it for a while, but your operator just got it. Dude, that's great. Now you can have conversations en route and not have to worry about missing radio calls and getting a guard call over Oklahoma. Ask me how I know. All righty. We can go ahead and fire up the APU. So we'll put on the inboard fuel pump there. We'll get the APU going up. We'll start a clock. 1 minute to start it, and then 2 minutes. 2 minutes for the warm up, and then we'll do a checklist and get out of here. All righty. Whoa. Whoa. Chat. Chat, we have a milestone. Turk in the U.S. with a $4.99 super chat, the very first one for the Full Flap Sim channel. Look at that. Hopefully you'll put donos into a scenery fund. Wishing great success for the channel. Turk, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I will put everything that gets. I did turn on donos for everyone, but everything that goes into the dono is going right back into the Full Flap channel. So be it sceneries, airplanes, computer parts. Maybe the occasional box of ammo, but yeah, all the donos are going to go right back into the to the Full Flap Sim channel. So thanks a bunch, Turk. Thanks for the generosity, man. I really appreciate that, guys. Milestone. All righty, Mickey G. You can't do 69 cents. Oh man, dude, that's the worst. What's the point? All right. We've got that all done. Let me grab my EFB so we can run the checklist. And then we'll get out of here. Pull up the checklist here. We'll go initial qual and normal checklist. Here we go. Here we go. All right, pre-flight checklist. The interior and exterior inspections, those are complete. V1 did the exterior walk around here. Circuit breakers are checked, but they aren't functional in the 7.3, so that's just something that we'll note. We'll see if that changed in the triple. Circuit breakers checked. Nav and display switches are normal and auto. Passenger signs are on. Window heat is on. Engine bleed air switches are on. Pressurization panel, that's set. Pressurization mode selectors and automatic. Mode control panel is set. Flight director switches are on. Oxygen mask is checked. Altimeters, we got magic bearer ref key. Is 2992, I suppose. Flight nav instruments are checked. We're doing it LNAV up to 10. Warning and annunciator lights were checked. The speed brake is down. Takeoff warning is checked and closed. Engine start levers are in cutoff. Stab trim cutout switches are normal. Fire warning's been checked. Radios and transponder are set. Radar's off. Rudder and aileron trim are free and zero. The parking brake is set. Windows, can't open them. They're locked closed. Windows are closed and locked. Flight attendant brief's complete. Departure briefing is complete. Logbook QRHs are on board. Fuel required. We needed 12.5. We got 16.5 on board. Pre-flight check is complete. Zippy Zapple coming in with a 5. Oh my gosh, how do I know what the currency's called? My ignorance is showing. I'm just going to say dollars for everything. We're at a $5 donation. Congrats on the milestone, and yes, scenery fund is needed. Well, thank you, Zippy. I appreciate it, man. It's all going into the scenery fund, and I'm surprised you guys don't like the default scenery here. All right, there's 3 minutes on the APU. We can get the APU bleed on, run the packs, and temps are all good. V1 Nation, $50 bomb, computer parts, BS. I know where this is going. Congrats on the milestone, and damn Turk for being the first. V1, thank you, sir. This whole adventure is all your fault. I was actually I was going through my my DMs with V1 the other day, and it was kind of cool because the beginning of our DM chat was I was still in the Navy and I was asking for advice applying to the airlines. And V1 took a bunch of time out and gave me a whole bunch of good advice for applying and interviews and all that stuff. And so, dude, I wouldn't be in the spot I am today without your help. So I really appreciate it, man. And thanks for the super chat, dude. I really appreciate it. Oh my God, Forest Raptor with a $5 bomb. What will your first scenery purchases be? Ooh, Seattle. I think it might have to be Seattle. Yeah, probably the MK Seattle. That I actually meant to pick that up before this stream, but I figured since we're not going there, I may pick it up a little later. But Zippy pounds, you colonized heathen. Oh, that's awesome. Oh man, thanks again, Zippy. Vodka coming in with a $20 bomb. Turk can be first. He loves PMDG sounds. Man, you guys are great, man. This community is so fantastic. I've had so much fun, being a part of it. So the fact that you guys tune in here and are showing me so much love and support, I really appreciate it. The Turk was only first, so we could be glazed. Oh man, start winning wars, your people will be recognized. Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious, man. Mostly Chat GPT, but you're welcome. Oh man, Andrew Kaufman coming in with another 420. That's a perfect number right there, man. I really appreciate that. Get some proper airports. Okay, I will have to start a list on the Discord of which airports we need to get. So we'll make this a community effort. Virtual Flight Diaries, another $20 bomb. Oh my God, didn't even notice. Congrats, man, on getting your milestone. Thank you guys so much. Bill's Mafia with a $2 super chat. Lyric Lemon collab win. Hey man, I'd actually love to do that. Do some European ops, shared cockpit with Lyric Lemon on stream. Let's do that. Yeah, we're never going to get off the ground. Oh my God, Mickey G saved me a seat at the airlines. Another $20 bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the generosity. I cannot thank you guys enough. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Mickey G, absolutely, man. We'll keep the seat warm for you. Skystream Aviation, do you know any good tips for landing a 737 on the markers? No, because I always float past them trying to get a butter. But we'll talk about landing when we get a little closer to it. All right, we knocked out the pre-flight checklist. The brief out of here. It's flight sim, so we're just going to go without a takeoff brief here, and we'll get the pumps, and we got to close up all the doors and get the transponder going. All right, let's see here. Ground operations. Are we on the bus? We're not on the bus. I have done that before. Actually, pulled ground power with the APU not on the bus. The whole airplane goes dark, and it's pretty embarrassing. But the 7.3 recovers really well. As long as you get the power on fairly quickly, you don't lose any of your stuff, and it's much nicer than the A220 in that way. In that disconnecting power without another source on the bus is not catastrophic. But okay, we're good there. We're going to remove ground service vehicles, release all. There we go. They go. I love the PMDG ground vehicles. Turk City. Oh boy. Vodka. Yeah, let's make that happen, dude. Let's do I want to do some shared crew streams. I want to do V1 shared crew A320. Yeah. I'll swing gear. You show me how to work the thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun too. Oh man, AJ Fernari coming in, $5 super chat. Here's $5, so that way you and Randazzo can go Dutch on an appetizer for your date tonight. Maybe the garlic knots or the potato skins. Dude, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you so much. Man, y'all rock. I'm blown away by your generosity. All right, here we go. We got all the ground vehicles are leaving. We'll get rid of all of that. Ground connection, stairs are gone. Release the ground power. Get rid of the air conditioning unit. Yeah, we strategically picked a stream that's over water. Actually, I think Microsoft updated Hawaii, which is actually why I did Hawaii. All right. No. Why are more ground services showing up? Release. Go away. Go away. Shared crew A320 with high intensity random failures could be a lot of fun. That I think would be a blast. Since Turk sold my first Super Chat Thunder, I better be your first crew multi-stream. Let's do it. Oh man. Mickey G, you're welcome. You couldn't have gotten here without me. Oh, dude. Speaking of, when do we get a PIREP on the Moza yoke, dude? Have you had a chance to use it yet? Hmm? Come on, don't keep us in the dark, man. This is a yoke-based channel. We are not doing the Southwest 20-minute turnaround here, y'all. We're behind. Cell phone fire in the back. Max Racing, you're having some trouble understanding the recirc fan logic. Can you explain if you get a chance? Yeah, the recirc fans are just either off or auto. You mean as far as like when they're on in automatic? To be totally honest with you, man, we just leave them in automatic and never touch them. So I truly don't really know much about the recirc fans. I just put them in auto and leave them there. Unless I'm trying to have a conversation in the cockpit with the captain, in which case I turn the left recirc fan off because it's quite loud. So oftentimes in chocks, this is our configuration on the air panel. We'll have the left pack and the left recirc off just so that we can talk in the cockpit. So we'll actually leave it there for realism purposes. Alrighty, let's see. Looks like we have doors panel is all clean. That is good. All right, now we can jump in here and do a pushback. So pushback check, we've got doors are closed. Hydraulic panel is set. Fuel panel is set. Flight deck doors closed and locked. And the transponder is transpondering. Pushback check complete. We'll call for push. Index. Nope, that's not what I want. I want menu, FS actions, pushback. We want to go tail, nose right 90, select the tug.
Hello.
Who's that guy?
Go ahead. Beacons on, brakes release, clear to push tail left.
There we go.
Copy, clear to push tail left so you guys can release the brakes.
Oh, really? It's nice. Dude. Mickey. You need to do a guest appearance on either V1's channel or my channel and show off the Moza, dude. You gotta give us all the gouge. Your Sim CFI. Hey Joel, the stream goes well. Thank you, man. All right, Turk. Cheers, man. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun. All right, we are pushing back. Here we go. We're going to start them both because it's a short taxi. Ground in 2. Start the clock. Engine spar valves spooling up. Oh, you know what? V1, we forgot your chair.
Man, this jump seat kills me. When you guys putting an Airbus bid in?
Oh, that's not the one. Thought we had a different jump seater.
Alright, push complete. Go ahead and set the brakes. Okay, the brake's set.
Brake set, 56%. Start valve closed. Isolate, ventilate, check for
Yeah,
us.
you got it, no problem. We're disconnecting the tow bar now. Stand by, guys.
Right.
Okay, tow bar is disconnected. We're disconnecting the interphone right now. Pin's gonna be on the right-hand side, guys. Take care. We'll see you.
All right, check for a CDS caution. We don't have one, and ground in number 1. Let's see if we get this going here. Oh, man. right, there's 25% minimum. Looking for max motoring. There it is. Fuel's in. Spar and engine valves. Open. Light off. Andre, V1's behind the captain's seat. Yeah, we stuck him in the number 2 jump seat. Oh, AJ. Yeah, that's right. We're online, aren't we? Ooh. All right. There we go. Starter cutout. Looking for the rollback. 2, 4, 6, 6 looks good. Ramps uncontrolled. All right. Generator. Probe heats come on. Don't need the anti-ice. Hides are set. Left pack. Isolation valve closed. Recirc fan. Close the APU bleed. All looks good. We're not using the APU for takeoff. We don't have center fuel. Check the recall. And flaps. Oh, we need performance data, don't we? All right, let's go performance data. Hilo, runway 26. Import, send. Flap 5, TO1 48. All right, so we got TO1 48, flap 5, CG, D dot. All right, 141. There we go. And trim of 5.5 and flaps to 5. See the trim speed up there as the flaps came out? Oh, and we'll do a Southwest style control check. There we go. Max Racing, if the cutoff lever is not in the detent, does it not open the fuel valve properly? So it is cable operated, and if it's the bigger issue is it'll open the valve, although you do have to check. I'm sure if it was halfway up, it might not. But the big thing here is if that lever is not seated in the detent, you can accidentally smack it, and it'll slide into cutoff. So I actually like the newer cutoff handles better. These look sexy, obviously, and I like that you can rapidly shut both off by just looping your fingers through and shutting them both off. But from a safety perspective, the newer cutoff levers are actually much better. They're definitely on or off as opposed to this sliding detent thing. I checked that these are in the detent probably 2 or 3 times, just you know, trying to make sure I'm not going to screw it up. All right, let's see. After start checklist, we've got the generators are on, probe heats on, anti-ice not required, air conditioning panel is set, recalls checked, auto brakes are RTO, after start check is complete, taxi check, since we're so close, we got flaps are 5, 5, 5, green light, takeoff speeds are set, thrust is TO148, stab trim is set, flight controls are checked, taxi check is complete. All right. Maintenance test only. This is the test for the sound box. So all your like fire warnings and all your sounds in the cockpit come from this box, and this maintenance switch is to test the basically the software in the box. So, okie doke. What is the CTAF frequency here, chat? Let's see. 118.1. I guess I lied when I said frequencies were set. 118.1. There we go. Here we go. Hilo traffic Southwest 1422, taxi and runway 26, Hilo. All right, here we go. Brakes released. A little bit of power. Chat. Chat. Listen to that. Okie doke. All right. We're taxiing HTO to PHNL via the PPK1 departure. First fix is going to be PPK No speed restrictions. We're going up to a top of 10,000 feet. Doing it in LNAV. All right, here we go. Ram the throttles up. So good throttle check. I love the 7.3, man. This is such a cool airplane. Auto throttles on. I was talking to the captain I flew with the other day, and she said it well. She was like, you know, the A320 is probably a better airplane, and but there's something about a crew that is proficient in the 7.3 and knows the flows and knows the procedures. Like when you can run this overhead panel and the engine start sequence and all the checklists smoothly in this thing, it's like a ballet. And you get someone who's, you know, coming off of an airplane like, I don't know, like maybe the E175 or one of the more the A220, one of the more modern airplanes like that. It just it I don't know. You kind of look at them and see this, oh my God, look on their face as you're running the systems. It's kind of a point of pride, you know. Like doing it well is a ballet. But I know, Mickey, PMDG in 2024 went, dude, when I get my new computer, I'll probably jump into 24, but I need a 7.3 in there first. I can't retire Yellow Sim until we have a Guppy. All right, here we go. We're doing it in LNAV. That's armed. For takeoff checklist. Here we go. Runway position. We got 26 full length outside and 26 full length inside. Flaps are 5, green light. Nav briefing, that's complete. Takeoff warnings checked. Auto throttle is armed. Engine start switches are continuous. Transponder is TARA and the flight attendants are notified and acknowledged. Before takeoff checklist complete. Mr. Suzuki, Zibo 737 still the king. I agree. The Zibo is a fantastic piece of software, especially for a freeware mod that's a passion project for the developer. The Zibo's fantastic. I owe Zibo another go in the streams because it's man, it's such a great 7.3. You bought X-Plane 12 just to fly it. Yeah, Chase, I get it, man. Zibo's what got me into X-Plane. I was not an X-Plane user at all. I mean, I watched V1's Tola streams, but even then I was like, I don't know, man. I think I'll just stick to P3D. And then I saw the Zibo mod, and Zibo was doing stuff PMDG was not, like Route 2 and the new FMS for the 7.3, and I was like, that looks pretty good. So I bought X-Plane and tried it. All right, here we go. Finals clear. We got flaps, fuel, flight attendants. Bleed panel is set. Here we go. That nose wheel scrubbing sound. Runo up to 40% in the turn. Forward on the yoke. There we go. Stable toga.
Airspeed alive.
80 knots. Throttle hold. Thrust normal.
V1.
There we go. Up and the flight directors. Gear up. .400 feet. LNAVing. Here we go. 1,000 feet. VNAV. VNAV speed down to 8 degrees. Positive airspeed trend. Flap 1. Flaps up after takeoff when able. So if you raise the flaps to up below the up maneuvering speed, your bank angle is limited to 15 degrees plus a 15-degree overshoot, so i.e. 30 degrees. So it's okay to be below the flap up speed with the flaps up. You just are limited to 30 degrees angle of bank. And that applies to every flap setting. So if you're below the 5 speed and you bring the flaps up to 5, you're just limited to 30 degrees angle of bank. All right, here we go. After takeoff check, anti-ice, bleed air panel, off, off, off. After takeoff check is complete. All right, we'll go Command B. Turn the volume down just a little bit here. All right. And take a look outside. Look at that. Okay. Tell me Yellow Sim still doesn't have its moments. Look at that. Look at that. That is something. Okay. All right, we're climbing out. And we'll take a look at our departure here. So my EFB does that occasionally, where it glitches out and then doesn't display the airplane in the right spot. There it goes. All right, so we're off the departure. We're gonna go. Yeah, we'll just go max econ all the way up. This is a short flight though. Oscar, in 2020 you get micro stutters for no reason. Lower high settings. Interesting. I don't, man. I've been up 10,000. We'll go up to 2.6. Okay, hang on. VNAV moment. Okay, so we'll put this to 10. So, V1, are you paying attention? So we're in VNAV. It's leveling off at the bug. It's going to go into VNAV out. And now this is the same thing like if you fly through your top of descent, right? To get it back into path, or in this case VNAV speed, since we're climbing, just roll the window up to whatever you want it to go to, 26, and hit in the 7.3 the alt interval button, or in the 7.3 push the altitude knob. Back to N1 speed, up we go. Boeing VNAV. All right, 10,000 feet. Retracts come off, taxi light comes off, wheel well light comes off, track the pressurization, looks good. Ha! V1 left 30 minutes ago for the birthday party. Oh, that's right, it's Kiddo's birthday party. Forgot about that. Well, if he comes back and watches the replay, or you guys can pass it along to him. Oh boy. I hear something on ATC, but I can't hear it over the sim. I tell you what, chat. Volume control is probably one of my biggest issues. There we go. Turn V-pilot up. Helo traffic southwest 1422, climbing through 10,000, departing north. I don't know if that's a required call or not, but there it is. Okay, we're going up to 260. I don't know, chat. The old NG is doing pretty well by me. The wing does look fairly static though. Let me make sure I have real world weather on. Oh, I don't. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, well, that's less juicy than the made up weather. There we go. There's an altimeter though. It's AJ taking off. Okay. Eamon Burke, Xbox game bar for volume control. Okay, I'll have to check that out. What I'm still trying to learn is basically how I adjust my headset volume without affecting y'all's volume, right? Because I don't want to blow your eardrums out, but I also don't want to be, yelling over my sim and my headset. So I gotta figure that out. But may have to dodge some traffic in the PHNL. Easy, not a big deal. All right, so but now you can see this. So like this is the animation on the 7.3. Now the 7.3 does have choppy wing flex in real life. Like it's a very flexible wing, but it moves smoother than that. And I don't know, like I can't look at that and tell you what's wrong, but I think that everybody on the stream can agree that there's something not right about that. So we'll have to see what the animations are like on the triple, but that's probably my biggest visual gripe about the 7.3. I think the yoke animations are smoother. I know people were griping about that prior, but I think that looks better. All right, we'll turn the seatbelt signs off, and then we'll get the shades out and take a look at what we're doing for an arrival here. So arrival star, we're doing the Shale
traffic,
1.
Southwest 4404, Miami, departing runway 26, people traffic.
There we go. All right, I hear AJ now. Let me tune in PHNL. Okay, still 18.1. We're landing on 8 left. So we'll star that. So we'll go pinned. Unpin that. Okay, 111.7 and 079. That's easy. 111.7, 079. Go. Vodka, you've seen a lot of wings in your day, and I wouldn't say it's unrealistic. Yeah, it's not unrealistic. It's just I feel like there's something about the way it moves. Maybe it's too predictable and it's not fluid enough. But I think they could do better on the wing flex. That's really my only complaint about the Guppy from a modeling perspective. And then I know people will have complaints about the textures and stuff, but I don't know. I'm pretty easy to please from that perspective, but it's just the wing flex that kind of bugs me a little bit. Force Raptor, you're on your phone, but these sound volumes are great. Okay, well here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of these, and that way I will be able to replicate them. Stand by for the next one. Yeah, that is true. It depends on the weather, winds. It is because I agree with you. I've definitely seen this type of wing flex before. I don't know. I can't really place my gripe, I guess. There we go. This was my first ever view coming into Hawaii. It was on a Hawaiian Airlines 767. Ahead of the engine on the left-hand side of the airplane. As a 12-year-old on vacation, man, that was core memory. Flying over Pearl Harbor. It was cool.
Fuel traffic, Southwest 4404, departing.
STDs for you, me, and Vodka.
Press for 5.8 for 24,000. Last call.
And get the rest of the lights off. All right, let's see. So we built it once. Let's take a look in the box here at the legs page. So I would like to be able to move this EFB closer to the FMS, although having the wind wing helps me. But all right, so we need lavas, and then we're going to Hanu, then Dili above 4, and then Schley at 210 and 4,000. Okay, so that's all good. Speed restriction of Mach number to 280. and then maintain 280 until 10. Okay, so we'll put that in the descent page of 280. 1,000 to go. My operator actually doesn't have that chime for 1,000 to go, believe it or not. All right, so we built it twice. We'll bug it twice. We'll do flap 30. Okay, take a look at the mins. Mins are 213. There we go. And brakes 3. Perfect. And we're doing 0.78, so we're accelerating up to 320. That's a little high, actually, so I'm going to go 0.77. Just to keep us a little bit further from the zipper. And then that'll automatically go over to the descent page. Vodka, yeah, sometimes it's a quick twitchy wingtip, sometimes more of a slow bounce. I agree, and I think PMDG has just modeled the quick twitchy wingtip, and I never see the slow bounce. Like, especially on the ground, I never see the slow bounce. The iFly has a great wing flex animation on the ground, but it's fairly static once you get up in the air. So I'm excited to see what the triple looks like, because it's their newest product, so I hope it's a little bit better. Cam MD80, howdy, welcome, happy Friday, man. Thanks for joining. Picked a good day to join, man. We got a lot of flying going. All right, top of descent's coming up, so we've got the VSD up. We got terrain for the island, and we'll start our descent. We're going down to, what did we say, 4,000 feet was the bottom? All right, there we go. There's 4,000 feet, and we'll go ahead and descend now. So we'll go to the, now, we'll see if the 777 has a cruise page or not, a cruise descent page. The PMDG 73 does not, and that is something that you have to be careful about. In the real airplane is if you hit descend, if you hit alt intervene, so if you dial in 4,000, hit alt intervene, and you're outside of, I think, 80 miles from the top of descent, it'll go into cruise descent, which is a different mode than this, which is planned descent. And you can, effectively what you can do is you can go into a cruise descent and then fly through your planned descent point and end up high on the path and not figure out why. And that's not modeled here. iFly has modeled it, and I'm interested to see if the 777 box has it modeled. All right, we got CTAF pulled up for Honolulu. Cabin, obviously. I don't even have a view back there in the 7.3 because I can't get out of the door, right? So we'll put the jump seat away here. Like this door doesn't open, so you have to do the whole trick where you, jump outside the airplane to get a view set up, which I've done on some of my 7.3s, but not this one apparently. Yeah, so no virtual cabin to check out in this, or there is a virtual cabin and I just don't use it because it's hard to get to. Cam, alt intervene will delete some constraints. Yeah, so the first, if you're in, it's a very powerful button, which is why you have to be careful with it. So if you're at cruise outside of 50 or 80 miles from top of D and you hit alt intervene, it'll put you in cruise descent mode. If you're inside of, I think it's 50, if you're inside of 50 nautical miles to the top of descent and you hit alt intervene, it puts you in planned descent mode. Subsequent presses of the alt intervene button delete altitude restrictions. So like, look at Dilley, 4,000. If we hit alt intervene, It should go away. Oh, chat, did we find something that they didn't model? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it appears that that's not modeled correctly. So if you pressed alt intervene here, it would delete that 4,000 foot restriction. So you are advised not to hit alt intervene unless you have the legs bay jump. Uh-oh, lost my chat. I don't think so, Cam, because it's it'd be above 4,000, right? I mean, we can check, right? So if I set 35, hit it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. That's not how it works in the real jet. So, but anyway, there we go. Another thing that the PMDG doesn't do right is, let's say that, so this has an altitude restraint of 4,000 or above. Let's say that you wanted to see what the jet wants to cross that at. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can hit clear or delete the 4 or above and just don't execute it, and the jet will display the altitude. So it wants to cross Dili at 5,200 feet. The other way you can do it, and this is the preferred way, is you pick Dili up, put it in the scratch pad, go to the fix page, and then hit a beam. And in the real jet, it'll give you a data block here that includes the crossing altitude. But in the PMDG, it says invalid entry, so that's another issue. And I don't know if that's software related, as in, like, if that's the software set that they've modeled, or if that's, you know, an issue. But anyway, all right, there's 18,000. We'll do a descent check. Recall's been checked. Wing lights are coming on. All that's on. Seatbelt signs are coming on. Here comes a descent checklist. Cam, I might check that next time. All right, descent check. We got altimeters are Magic Barrier ref key 3008 cross check. Minimums are 213 cross checked. Landing data is flap 30 ref 142. Approach briefing is complete. Auto brakes are 3. Seatbelt signs are on. Pressurization is set, and the recall's been checked. Descent checklist is complete. AJ coming in with another $3 super chat. Thanks, man. You can bring that up to Randazzle and Pillow Talk. I would, man, but every time I bring something up in their forum, they yell at me. I was informed that my operator was dangerous because I use flap 15 for landings. So I think that's the last time that I recommend anything to PMDG. Oh man, chat. My chat box died. Let me close it and reopen it. Yeah, chat box died. I'm on my phone. We're on the backup chat. Just tell Bob you voted for him and he'll be all ears. That's funny. All right, so we're 280 knots per the speed restriction. Coming on down, that's looking good. Look at that reflection. Yellow sim just, it's a good sim. I like it. I like it a lot. Cam MD80 coming in with a $5 super chat. I got so many questions that could risk me getting banned as one annoying ever. Dude, this is a safe space, man. I love the questions because it I mean it keeps me honest. You know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about the airplane. Like for example, somebody asked me about the recirc fan logic in auto. I don't know, so I'm going to look that up after the chat. You know, so y'all's questions, keep them coming because they're fun. I know that you guys like hearing the answers, and it keeps me honest on, you know, making me look up stuff that I may not have necessarily looked up otherwise. So, yeah, keep them coming, dude. Perchance was the dangerous operator comment from a certain German. No, it wasn't. It was from just some rando dude. I don't know. He was just like, well, if you do flap 15 landings as a matter of course, I'll make sure to avoid your operator. I was like, okay. It's one of the biggest ones in the United States, so good luck. But Bill's Mafia, does the pressure altitude need to be reset on descent? No. So if you set this to cruise, your cruise and your landing altitude correct, and this is an auto, don't have to touch it. Really what that's checking is make sure your landing altitude is set correctly. And also some people set this cruise altitude to the highest altitude you plan to be at. So let's say we were initially planned at 26 and then we were going to step climb to 30. A lot of guys will set this to 30. Well, then if you don't actually get to 30 and you start your descent, it'll give you an off-skid descent light. So basically at the top of descent, you want to check to make sure that this is set to whatever your cruise altitude is, and this is set to your landing altitude. But if those are set, then there's nothing really to check. All right, here's 10,000 feet, so we'll swap the ILS frequencies in. And flight nav instruments are verified. Cabin notification is complete. And the altimeters are 3012 now, cross-checked. Camp, for starters, how do you delete a speed restriction? And 2, where do you find go-around power settings? Okay, so deleting speed restrictions, speed intervent button, or, so you can hit the speed intervent button, that opens the window, and you just spin in whatever speed you want. Or you can go to the legs page and just delete this or put in the new speed that you want, right? So drag required. We'll pump. Oh, we're at 250. That's fine. So like if we didn't want to do 210 into Shea, I would probably just open the window is what I would do. And then type in whatever speed I wanted to Shea and put it in there. So you could delete the whole thing. So you could like delete this whole line and then just re-enter 4,000 feet with no airspeed in it. But that's a lot of work and it doesn't really buy you anything beyond opening the window. As far as go-around power settings, so that on the N1 limit page, it'll say go-around. And that'll be tagged. However, the way the Toga system works is the first button push is going to give you a reduced go-around power setting, which is around 80 to 90%, probably closer to 90. And that'll give you about maybe 1,000 to 1,500 feet a minute. And then the second push of the Toga button, so if that's not enough, you hit the Toga button again, and then it runs them up to all she's got, Captain, and kind of goes to 11. Which I kind of like because the reduced go-around power is, perfect for 99% of your go-arounds. It's just the 1% where you need some crazy power setting. All right, so I'm going to pick this up from Uka, actually. Put that in the box. That'll give us a good vector for a downwind. Manuel Gavela Sands, hello, welcome. All right, watch your ears, stepping outside.
Downwind for runway 4.
Make sure my TCAS is on because we're got some folks coming in from the mainland, it sounds like. Honolulu traffic, Southwest 1422, approaching Dilley at 7,000 feet, setting up for the right downwind runway 8 left, Honolulu.
Honolulu traffic, United JW, we're turning a right base, runway 8 left, Honolulu.
AJ, it's not bump thrust, it's full go around thrust. So it's the maximum go around power available. Not all 7.3s have bump, so like our 900 ERs don't because they use full power all the time. Our 800s don't either. So I don't know where bump would factor in if your company had it, but it's just max go around power. So yeah, diabetic lad. So if you need all the beans, double click Toga, and all the way. So. Eamonburg, no. It's still they're still guarded by the EECs. So the electronic engine control, it's like a FADEC. It controls the engines and make sure you don't over temp them or anything, so it won't damage it. Oh, Lyric Lemon, dude. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad I can put a name with a YouTube name with a Discord name. Awesome, man. Thanks for dropping by. Cam, yeah. So that is if auto throttle is still engaged, right? So most operators, to include mine, restrict you from flying in auto throttle with the autopilot off. So generally, when you disconnect the autopilot, you also disengage the auto throttle. That was ago, and it won't re-engage, right? So like in the 220. If you hit the Toga button, the auto throttle re-engaged. This is a mechanical switch, right? So if you disconnect the auto throttle, it manually releases this switch. It goes to off, and there's no way for the jet to re-engage the auto throttles
Oh, dropping jet 300 heavy, we're on 15 miles on runway 8 left, Honolulu.
Without you re-engaging this switch. So if you're manually flying, hit the Toga button, it sets the carrots, and it's on you to set whatever power you need. If you're still in auto throttles, then it runs the power up to whatever you request. And if you have both the autopilots on, then it'll fly the go around for you. If you only have one autopilot engaged, then it'll kick you out of autopilot. You have to hand fly. I kind of want to be sitting on the other side of the airplane so I can look at the island. I guess there's not much island out there to look at. Yeah, Lyric Lemon, you guys disengage auto throttle with autopilot as well? Yeah. I think that's, I want to say that's Boeing standard, I think. I don't know for sure, but I think it is. Although in the 220 we flew all the time with auto throttles on and autopilot off. Vodka. So, Vodka, I have camera views set up in the cockpit like this, via the X-plane method. Some of my 737s I didn't do because different variants have different, it doesn't carry over for all the variants. No hand flying. All right, so here we go. We're gonna fire up flight recorder here. Gonna get that going. And then I got to fire up G's as well.
Honolulu traffic, United 1175, heavies 13 miles, 8 left, Honolulu.
Mother of God, is that loud for you guys too? Because that's really loud for me. turn an ATC down. Bill's Mafia, with the triple, you can keep the other throttle engaged. Because it's a fly-by-wire. So the way I understand it is that the reason, okay, so we're on a vector, we're going to go direct UCA and execute. El Navida UCA. The way it was explained to me was since the Airbus and the triple and all those airplanes are fly-by-wire, you can, he's 10 by 5. You can, the airplane will actually compensate for a certain amount of thrust. You know, so it's underslung engines, right? So if the engines ram up a full load of thrust, the fly-by-wire can help compensate for that. Whereas in a manual airplane like the 7.3, it won't. And so what they don't want happening is they don't want the other throttle to make a big power up correction, and then have the pilot who's hand flying not be aware it's coming. So.
Oh, traffic jet 300 heavy on a 5 mile final, runway 8 left, Honolulu.
Yeah, my God. All right. All right, we'll sync the heading bug. There we go. There's Honolulu. How's it looking? Microsoft just updated it. Kind of mid. Kind of mid, chat. There's what? Diamond Head? I think that's a volcano, right? Diamond Head. And Kaneohe is over on the other side, I think. Kaneohe Bay. Pearl Harbor. Bill's Mafia, yeah. So that's how the 220 would do things like that to assist you, right? So for example, on takeoff, when you run the power all the way up, in the 7.3, you push forward on the yoke to help keep the nose wheel planted. The 220 did it automatically, so you didn't do anything when you hit toga. It actually, the 220 ran the power up, it paused, and then at 60 knots it gave you the rest of the power. So it did a 2-part power addition to keep the nose wheel planted, but the fly-by-wire also put in the nose down input as the engine accelerated. I don't know if the triple does that, but I would kind of assume that it would. So. Yeah, I was kind of excited about Hawaii because it just got a new update from Microsoft. So we'll see as we get a little closer if it loads in. Hopefully it's good. All right, we're going to open the speed window so the airplane doesn't decelerate, and we're going to go flap 1. Okay, so there's 210. Okay, so now if we want to, in the real jet, if I wanted to get rid of the 6,000 at UCA, since we're below it, I could just hit this. Yeah, so it won't let me do it in this. So I got to hit delete and then delete, execute, then clean it up that way. Okay, so the building's kind of loaded in as we flew past. Yeah, Cam, I think I have City Update 10, or at least I tried to install it as I before stream. Yeah, see, like Vodka, that wing flex right there looks too choppy to me. Oh no, did City Update 10 it broke Denver? Ooh, well, it's a good thing. I was going to do a Denver to SFO leg with the triple, so I'm glad I didn't. Force Raptor, don't forget to press flight level change over the initial approach fix. Yeah, do it V1 style. Honolulu traffic, Southwest 1422's on right downwind, runway 8 left, Honolulu. All right, so we're not going to go all the way. Oh, actually, I guess we have to. There's traffic right there, so we may.
Honolulu traffic at 1175, heavies clearly left.
All right, we should be able to turn and beam him. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into heading mode. Say ATC puts its heading, we're going to take it off of fighter, which is the final approach fix. 079 in the box, hit execute. There it is. Honolulu traffic, Southwest 1422 is turning right base, runway 8 left, Honolulu. Oh, I'm number 3. All right, disregard, Southwest 1422 is continuing downwind. Wait, Vodka, there's another one? Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. And Southwest 1422, we'll sequence in behind Southwest 2760. Okay, so in this case, I don't want to go way the heck out, so we're going to take speed 170.
Traffic, Southwest 2760, you're going to be heading towards Debris, intercept the ILS 4 right approach Honolulu, currently out of 4000.
All right, flap 5. I feel like we could have got in before him, but that's fine. Let's see, there he is. All right, so we're going to start our turn inbound. Okay, so we're going to start in about 350. Cam, yeah, I was going to do this in the iFly, but decided not to, just so that we could do a little comparison between the old PMDG, i.e. this one, and the triple. So, yeah, Lyric, I think that'd be fun as hell, man. We should do that, 100%. All right, so here's something where what we're going to do is we're going to go legs page, we're going to pick up the runway, go to descent page, slant, drop it there. So our vertical speed to get to, if they clear us for the visual, let's say they clear us, 040 cleared the visual. All right, so 040. Now they cleared us the visual. We're going to put the final approach heading in here. And then our vertical speed to get to the runway is 850. So we're going to go vertical speed, and we're just going to match this number. And that way, we should be in the vicinity of the glide slope when we capture it. And we're going to arm loc. Where'd that Southwest go? Honolulu Tower, Southwest 1422 is on the dogleg to final for 8 left, Honolulu. All right, 825, so we can shallow it to 800. And you can see that that's kind of holding us, about ballpark on the glide slope here. So we can actually shallow it a little bit.
Southwest 2760, running on a 10-mile final, 04 right, Honolulu.
Oh, he's going to 4 right. No, we definitely could have cut him off. Okay. We can actually intercept in LNAV, and that'll draw the intercept for us. There it is. Okay, so we'll intercept in LNAV. Then we'll arm Vorlok. There it is, Vorlok. And now that Vorlok's armed, we can go approach. And we can shallow up the glide a bit. All right, heading mode 079. We're below 10, so we can get the extendables on. Say we've been clear to land. And ref is 141. Plus we got, let's see, 15 knots of headwind or so. So half the headwind, we'll add 7. We'll start with 150 and go from there. All right, what's the Mr. Perch altitude? It's going to be 5,000. All right, so there's glide slope, 5,000 set. And we'll dirty up at 2,000. All right, we're going to jump to the other side of the airplane so we can look at Pearl Harbor. There's NAS Barber's Point, or the old NAS Barber's Point. Vodka just had an aneurysm because my camera changing. Oh man, yeah, the old Inter Island DC-9s, or the Dash 200 7.3s. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, there's 2,000 feet above field. There's gear down, flap 15 on the old Blackbird control levers. Continuous, continuous. Arm the speed brakes. All right, set the flap 15 speed. Flap 25. Set ref. Flap 30 and a landing check. All right, we got landing gears down. 3 green. Flaps are 30. 30 green. Speed brake is arm. Start switches are continuous. Landing checklist complete. All right. See, like, the wing looks pretty good from this angle. The geometry, the flaps, etc. I think that looks pretty good. I think the 7.3 holds up, although I am looking forward to if they do a full model refresh for the 2024 update, that'll be good. All right, we got all the lights on. Oh, we got to get our flight recorder going. Whew, almost forgot. All right, recorder's going. Okay, there's Southwest, whatever. He's landing, so we should be clear. All right, 1,000 feet, clicking off.
1,000.
Okay, we'll reset about 58%. So PMDG did nail the power setting. 58% is kind of the reference power setting coming down final. In the 800, it's a little higher in the 900. About 20 knots, so half the headwind would be about there. Getting a little high. I think the force feedback would be real nice for a trim simulation. All right, Southwest is clear of the runway. Getting a little fast. Yeah, so as far as landing goes, at 30 feet, think about flaring. At 20 feet, begin to flare. And then at 10 feet, close the throttles out. There's your cookbook for landing a 7.3.
50, 40, 30.
There we
20,
go, there we go. And close
10.
them. And then if you're a little high, just try and dip a wing. Ah, that was a little hard. All right, there we go. Set the nose down. Manual brakes. 80 knots out of reverse. All flight sim add-ons generally slow down way too fast. All right, we can get on the brakes. There we go. Alright, start the clock for engine cool down. Get the lights. Flight directors come off. EFIS panel. Auto brakes will fall in behind him. Honolulu traffic, Southwest 1422 will follow number 2 behind Southwest.
Alright, no problem. I stopped for you. I'll keep rolling.
Alright, there we go. There we go. We'll go flaps up.
Oh, we go into Echo 5, yeah. Southwest 2760.
Copy. 239, so a little bit of a high flare. But not the worst. Alright, here we go. Man, who'd have thought one day that Southwest would be a major player in the Hawaiian Islands? Okay, APU's coming on. Okay, clear left, coming left. There we are. Yeah, Cam, the 700 is definitely from the, I've never flown the 700, but I've talked to a lot of folks who have, and they all kind of agree that the 700 was the sports car of the bunch. All right, there we go. Number 2's coming off. Shut off left pack. Get the isolation valve open. All right. Electric. That's associated. And I'm going to park next to that Southwest because I'm not sure where Southwest parks in Hawaii. Yeah, Diabetic Lad, you're right. It is pretty far south and west, so true to their name. Okay. Okay, APU is up. We'll swap it on the bus. Off the brakes when you swap the buses. Okay, hydraulic, that's associated. Vodka at Sea Inner Island Terminal. I don't know which one that is. This is kind of disappointing, I think. I mean, you guys tell me. I haven't been to Honolulu in a minute, but I don't think this is how it looks. I remember it being an open-air terminal. So I don't know what they did for the update, but that's the one in the back. Well, we're going right here is where we're going, so. Go around this terminal a little. Oh yeah, that's not happening. We're just pulling right in. Hey Shakovic, all the fresh donos today. I may pick up the any Hawaii. Yeah, it is very default, but I expected it to be a little better because they just did an update. All right, set the parking brake. We would let them up and shut them down, but we're gonna do a replay, so I should probably start the other engine, huh? We'll do that. We'll get that one started. We'll stop the replay, stop recording. We'll fire up numero dos. There we go. I'm just gonna fire it up here. And we'll see how we did. Yeah, definitely no trees in the tarmac. You can't park there. At least this prison has good weather. Ooh, there's a half decent freeware scenery. You know me. I never saw a free scenery I didn't like. All right, here we go. Boom. 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 All right, chat. Let's go check out our replay. We'll get all the lights on. Oh, we got to disconnect first. Hang on. I don't want to get booted. All right, we'll disconnect. That's gone. See ya. Why are my lights not working? Did I waz them? Oh, no. There we go. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And flight recorder. Record. Nope, don't record. Cancel. Play. There we are. No. All right, hang on. Pause. We want to go back here. And resume. Flaps. Arm the speed brakes. There we go. Joe Plains. Yeah, this is a J'Aviation Southwest livery. Yes, sir. Let's move it back here. There we go. Give the flaps time to extend. Yeah, I don't know what the city update really did because, I mean, maybe if we flew around like Honolulu actual. But like the airport looks very defaulting. It's got like the lollipop towers. Those towers look like the cake pops my wife gets from Starbucks. I thought about for a second doing 777 ops from SFO to Honolulu, but I'm kind of glad I didn't now because default airport. Shakovic, so the Zibo is more current. The FMC simulation and the FMS and the Zibo is a more current simulation than the PMDG. My only problem with Zibo is occasionally, and I think it's because it's updated so frequently, occasionally it'll just do some wacky off-the-wall stuff where like I'll hit approach and it'll spin a 360, right? Or it'll do some like unusual behavior. But the Zibo is pretty good. So I think, I don't know. I think it's hard to say which one's more realistic, but it's the Zibo is definitely the more up to date for sure, as far as FMS simulation and things like that. But you know, eye candy wise, the PMDG wins, I think, and then just the overall sim environment. Well, that didn't look awful from the passenger view. Let's watch it from outside, shall we? Watch your ears, chat. Hey. A little bit high. Oh, chat. Yeah. Yeah, we smushed it. Oh man, we gotta watch AJ. Can I connect in observer mode? Hang on. Let me, oh no, don't do that. Resume. Let's see. We wanna go, I gotta go, stop replay. I gotta get off the runway. Oh no! Replay. Let's pause replay. Go to the gate. Stop replay. Okay, now I need to join back in observer mode so that we can watch AJ come in here. Connect. Connect. All right, here we go. All right. AJ, which runway you landing on? Oh no, he's down.
Traffic, Alpha Juliet.
Oh shoot, we missed him. All right, next time. Yeah, so yeah, bang on center line, chat. I deserve that. Yeah, so we flared high, and then that headwind closed the throttles out, and just the bottom fell out. So would have been a beautiful landing about 10 feet lower. So yeah, kind of like I was saying, 30 feet, think flare, 20 feet, gradually start to, and then actually begin the flare around 15 feet. And I just did it a little bit early as I was talking about it. And, we dropped in from about 10 feet. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, we'll watch a quick little replay, and then I'll get the mighty triple fired up. Give me about 30 minutes to get the triple set up, and then we'll jump back and we'll fly the Freedom Bird from Okinawa to Tokyo. So thanks for joining me on this look at the 7.3, and give me about 30 minutes and we'll compare it to PMDG's newest offering, the 777. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of replays, and then I'll see you in about 30 minutes. Oh, Shakovec, could you show your sensitivity settings for the TCA yoke real quick? Yeah, hang on. So if we go like this, and like this, TCA, Boeing yoke, and sensitivity. There we go. So take a look at that, and then I'll scroll down and you can pause the stream. But, oh yeah, those are just the throttles. So there you go. Cool. All right. Tieback Clyde, yeah, moving the stream up just so I can make it to dinner with the girls. So the streams went a little quicker than I thought they would. So just gonna bump them up and do one back to back with another. So dude, yeah, no worries, man. Get your lift in and grab dinner. But I gotta do the stream so I can grab dinner with my girls afterwards. So all right, we'll see you in a bit. And we'll be on Iveo Premium in about 30 minutes in the mighty 777. See ya.
Too low. Terrain.